And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the StarCraft Evolution League. Welcome back to a Biweekly tournament featuring StarCraft Evolution, a custom mod here for SC Evo. I'm of course just VIP. With me, I'm joined by these amazing players and by the people in the chat as well. I do apologize for the start of the broadcast here. Some things are happening here IRL, so I do apologize, but we should be able to get back into things and catch up on the broadcast. Welcome back to some more StarCraft Evolution. It's been a while. It's been a while since we've covered some SC Evo content. Again, there has been a massive hiatus at the start of the year for events featuring this mod due to the arcade being broken, due to the Blizzard arcade kind of having some issues, of course. But recently they have been resolved, and now we have updates and support once again for some of these mods. Let's go. We are back, and we have our first series of the broadcast. Going to be jumping into the quarterfinals of the StarCraft Evolution League. Again, this is a bi-weekly tournament every 2 weeks, so we do feature an SC Evo event, and we do have some catching up to do. We'll be doing so throughout the course of the week. For events like StarCraft Evolution, Kung Fu Cup, War TV Monday, and Pegastar Cups as well. So we will be there. For now, though, we're going to be jumping into our first game of the broadcast. Going to be jumping into Sylphid, featuring ByuN and Mindle VK. Let's go. Let us go. We just featured ByuN last night in a best of 9 show match against Classic in StarCraft Evolution, so I do highly recommend the VODs. It was an intense best of 9, it was back and forth somewhat as well. Able to get a better glimpse of TVP, and now we get some more TVP action here on Sylphid. As spawning in the bottom hand corner, we have the orange Protoss player representing Sidestorm Gaming. It is Mindle VK. And spawning in the top side, we have the South Korean Terran player, the blue Terran representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. Let's go. Let us go. Welcome one and all. Also, welcome all to the chat. See, so Lens Vide as well. With 110 streams, you're crazy. You're crazy, papi. Aye. But thank you so much. For the dedication, for tuning in as often as you do, as we are settling into our best of 3. Let's go. Let us go. Welcome to Sylphid. Sylphid is a 3-player spawn map. Sylphid does have 3 possible spawn locations: bottom left, bottom right, and top side as well. So this does allow for a little bit of RNG, a little bit of randomness when it comes to the spawn locations, when it comes to early game cheese and early game aggression, and we'll see how Mindle will approach this. Bearing in mind, this is a Brood War Protoss up against an SC2 Terran player. For those that are unaware with the mod specifically, this mod does bring together StarCraft 2 versus Brood War, and does pit them against each other, specifically in a best of 1 format. This mod is not balanced for Brood War versus Brood War whatsoever. It is only balanced for Brood War versus SC2. Bear that in mind. Once again, ByuN, I would say, is the best Terran player in StarCraft Evolution currently. I said this previously, but Cure has recently started playing and competing in StarCraft Evolution as well. So I still have a bit of a hard time placing Cure amongst the other top Terran players in SC Evo. Still have a hard time placing him. For now, though, I can confidently say that ByuN, he's the highest performing Terran player in SC Evo. He is favored to make it far, if not win, the entire tournament. One of the top favorites. Meanwhile, Mindle has been dedicating a lot of time to SC Evo as well. Mindle, of course, has been taking a bigger role when it comes to content creation, tournament organization, and streaming as well. A little bit of a step away from just purely competing, but Mindle has taken a bigger stance, a bigger role here when it comes to SC Evo, and does open up with a robo. This is quite common, going for a robo opener into a bay into Reaver drop. That is the go-to in almost every single matchup featuring Protoss, so we should be seeing Reaver drop. Meanwhile, we'll see how ByuN does open up himself, going for an economic start into the factory follow-up. So ranks expand into factory. With this, we can get into a 1-1-1, we can get into mine drop play. Early Cyclone play is advised. The reason why we often see early Cyclone is to help deter the shuttle. As Robo is finishing, should soon be seeing the bay. We are going into Dragoon range though. Okay, so Singularity, what's the Singularity charge? There's the bay. Bay is thrown down, and again, that should be for the shuttle, for shuttle speed, and for said Reaver. Singularity charge, that's it, yeah. So here comes that shuttle. Behind this, there is a tech lab. Actually going for an add-on swap, so going to be delaying Cyclone production. Interesting. With this delayed production, we will be able to get into faster Banshee play, faster Raven play for harass across the map. This is a bit of a bolder move here, and we'll see what ByuN can get done. We'll see. Gamma? No Gamma. As here comes said Reaver. Reaver production has begun. Until then, we're both kind of just building up back at home. There is gravitic drive. Again, that is shuttle speed being researched as we speak, and soon we can move out across the map. Now, if you're a little bit unfamiliar with SC Evo, when it comes to the initial Reaver, the Reaver is a cross between a Disruptor and an Immortal, bearing in mind that for Brutal or Protoss, you don't really have the variety of Colossus and Disruptor and Immortal. You kind of need your Robo unit to take the role of a lot of units at once, just because, again, your units are a lot more limited here in a Brood War. So we do have the Reaver moving out. Again, does do quite a lot of burst damage, does also target units. Bearing in mind that the attack of the Reaver is also kind of limited to pathing, so you can actually micro against the Reaver shots, similar to against the Purification Nova of the Disruptor. Similar. As the Reaver does move out. At the same time, we did see that add-on swap earlier. Actually, no early Cyclone. Okay, bold move. Early tank production instead. We do have the Banshee moving out across the map. As the Reaver will hit the natural. Back at home, Dragoons are getting in position. Thankfully, Cloak is done. Is there any detection? Zero detection, no observatory. That's why Classic was going for the observatory opener. Yeah, Banshee hits and zero detection. Does the game just end? Does the game just end? The Reaver drop comes in, kills one SCV, no major damage, not yet. Oh, workers do stack, better connection, 4 SCVs go down, but at the same time the Banshee does wreak havoc and there is a zero detection. Observatory now does finish, observers on the way. If you recall, we were casting a best of 9 last night with Classic and ByuN, and Classic, every time he went for a robo opener, he went for a blind early observatory. It was very, very common to open observatory. So Classic did have access to detection every single game. Meanwhile, here we see limited detection, more workers going down. 10 SCVs did fall to the Reaver harass, which is nice damage to be honest, but at the same time, 9 probes also went down and also denied mining in the main and the natural. So I would say a better start for ByuN. Banshee is currently, still barely alive. Yeah, just barely. The shuttle gets caught out. Thankfully, thanks to shuttle speed, should get away. Yeah, it does pull out. Behind this, ByuN building up into Stim. Stim is on the way, more tank production as well, building up on 2 bases. Eventually going to be pushing on said 2 bases as well. We'll see if Biweekly can keep up with this. So far, is getting additional Reavers. And is going to bring the action here to ByuN instead. Okay. I mean, ByuN is ready. ByuN is got his 3 tanks in position. He's got his siege line. Biweekly is moving out. And all of this will come down to the target firing, will come down to the unit micro and to the individual targeting as well. Mindle to 0 straight for the tanks. Where are we going? Where are we dropping? Yeah, Reavers, they drop in. They make their way towards the tank line. They do target the first tank. The shuttle goes down. Yeah, shuttle goes down. Reavers as well. Alas, this was not worth it here for Biweekly, losing far too much. Losing both Reavers and the shuttle. So heavy losses there for Mindle. Losing 3 Dragoons as well. Again, ByuN, he was more than ready for an assault here at the natural. And Mindle gave him what he wanted. Ay. Behind this now switching into Zealot legs, but it does feel a little bit too little too late. As now ByuN can go for some counter drop play. It's moving out. Yeah, Dragoons not quite in position. Looks like the Banshee did just go down. Drops do sneak out. And Mindle has nothing in position to defend. He's got Dragoons here towards the natural, Dragoons out on the map, Dragoons in the center, but nothing in the main. And nothing in the main base. There's a safety battery to buy some time. Reaver pops out. ByuN, he does what the Reaver. He respects it. It does respect it. Pulls away, nice control, avoids the Reaver shots. Speaking of, oh my god, the micro picks up, does save, and behind this 3rd CC, getting his 3rd CC up and running, building up into a greater economy, into a greater mid game. Mindle trying to catch out those medevacs, trying to be active on the map, but again, ByuN is chilling back at home, building up, expanding, and here comes the main push. To defend against this, we do have currently 1 Reaver. Still only 1 Reaver. The army's distracted here in the main and outside of the main. ByuN does move out. Trying to break out his medevacs. And we'll be able to. Oh no! Oh, the medevacs! One medevac goes down. Ooh, both medevacs go down. Very nice control there from Mindle, making the best out of a bad situation. Does catch both full medevacs. Does catch both. ByuN, we are moving in. I mean, did lose a massive chunk of his army, so Mindle is somewhat holding his own, but once again, denied mining in the main base. Going for the Nexus, actually. A bit of a bold move out of ByuN and won't quite get it. It does pull away. His main army did back off. Observer does spot this. And the game will continue. Yeah, the game will progress. So building up back at home. Again, Mindle, he does have a lot of recovering to do. There are ways to recover when it comes to drop play, counterattacks, Zealot run-bys as well. The problem is that ByuN's staying at home, right? He's turtling up quite hard. We have sensor towers, missile turrets. We're just rolling up, setting up for any kind of move out. Drop play once again, popping off, gets into the mineral line. Oof. And takes down 8 workers. And we just pick up. Ooh, one full medevac goes down. Late reaction by ByuN. Does have a late reaction. Still worth it though. Yeah, still very much so worth it. Reaver drop into the main base. ByuN, how does it react? Does it react? Ooh. Medevacs go down once again. But he stims in. Yeah, he stims in. I mean, the Reavers are somewhat trading. But Mindle's out of position. Will be forced to cancel. Shuttle gets forced out of the main. Storm has now begun, and there's a chance for Mindle VK to make a stand with Storm, but heavily reliant here on his spells on Storm, and again, not much of a chance that will happen here. Assuming that ByuN pushes soon. True. We'll see if Storm can finish. We'll see if it does finish up. Drop play continues. This time Mindle VK is somewhat in position, does have 3 Dragoons here in the main. That might deter, maybe. There we go. We just boost in. Yeah, dives on the Dragoons. Takes down 1, 2, takes down all 3. We'll lose 1 medevac in the process. But ByuN still trades well. Yeah, he trades well here. Picking up Zealots. Catching up the mineral line as well. Getting another 12 probe kills. Ay, ay, ay. 13 probes go down. And now here, I was going to say here comes the main army. We're still leaving all the tanks at home, but there we go. They're massed on siege. Finally, ByuN pushes. Now, I believe Storm will be ready for this. So Storm is going to finish up, and there's going to be a handful of High Templar. But again, ByuN has a lot of momentum throughout the course of this game. Just better economy, faster third, better trades. Even here, catching up more Dragoons. There's going to be 4 High Templar. Oh, we got some Reavers in the center. Let's who reacts first? Yeah, as ByuN is pushing. Does miss the Reavers, but tanks do siege. Yeah, tanks they siege up. That's a lot of tanks. Ooh, the shuttle is going to be denied. Yeah, shuttle is zoned away. The expansion will fall. And we're going for the base trade. I mean, it is the only way here for Mindle VK. Like, he cannot engage with the main. Oh no! He cannot engage with the main army. Shuttle goes down. Reavers go down. GG gets called. And ByuN takes game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. ByuN, who'll take a lead in the series, and we'll see how our players do adjust their approach coming to game 2. Again, Mindle just had a very shaky start. Unfortunately, did go for a robot opener, but delayed the observatory and had no detection. So even though the Reaver got some damage on across the map, the Banshee more than made up for it. More than made up for it there. for ByuN. And with that, ByuN does take a lead in the series, and we'll see if Mindle can bounce back and recover coming into game number 2. Let's go. Going to be loading into Ruby Rock. Here we go. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Brood War Terran representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the Orange Protoss player for Sidestorm Gaming. It is Mindle VK. Here we go. So players are going to be opening up. Oh, yes. Rough start here for Mindle. Not like this. Not the worst start, but did misposition the gateway. Welcome one and all to the Ruby Rock. Ruby Rock is known for aggressive builds, and we're leaning more towards ByuN. Actually going CC first? Okay. Bold move. I was assuming we were going to be seeing a 3-axe opener, but no, CC first. Now, ByuN did embrace a lot of mech against Classic, a lot of mech in the previous TVP matchup, so we'll see if we embrace mech once again, or if we do go into a stim timing. With the earlier CC, there's a higher chance we might see mech. A much higher chance. Oh, no, never mind. So there we go. We have the first, we have the second rack. So it looks like we are going for a 3-rack stim timing, just off of a CC first. Now, this stim timing is going to be delayed, just because the racks is later, which means the academy is going to be later. I mean, the gases are later. I mean, everything is just later here for ByuN in favor of the faster economy. And Mindle will have more time to react, and at least gets a full scout. Gets a full scout of the main, is fully aware as to what's going on. For those who are curious, these 3-rack sim timings, they do hit very hard, and it's going to be a little bit more difficult here for Mindle to keep up with the aggression of ByuN, just because of this kind of the notoriety behind this build, I should say. This build has been adjusted and nerfed quite a bit over time. There's the academy, again, that's going to be for stim, that's going to be for the upgrades, that's going to be for the medics as well. We'll see if ByuN does go for the timing attack, or if he does play more passive and builds up into a 3rd CC instead. Meanwhile, Mindle, once again, going for the faster robo into the Reaver drop. Now, because of the opener, because Mindle saw the 111, I'm sorry, what? Because he saw the 3-racks, he knows that there's no factory, he knows that there's no starport, there's no threat of anything. Oh, actually, hold on, sorry, I'm getting mixed up a little bit. I was like, Reaver drop, it's an SC2 Protoss, my apologies. In my brain, I was like, oh, now he knows that there's no threat of a Banshee, so we can go Reavers freely, but no, this is a standard SC2 opener, so we might be seeing a Colossus instead. If you recall, a couple of years ago, back when 3-racks were in the meta, Colossus defenses were a lot more common, but if you recall, the 3-rack stim timing hit later in StarCraft 2, hits earlier here in StarCraft Evolution, so if the goal here is to wait for a Colossus, I don't think we can. I feel like even with safety immortals, it's going to be a clutch hold here, but we should be seeing an early immortal. We should not wait for a Colossus just because that's going to be too late. I mean, the Bio army is already building up. Oh, late reaction, no, late reaction. We'll lose a Stalker. 1 Stalker goes down. There's 1 Stalker right now. That's the army. This is the army for Mindle VK. 1 Stalker. We have a 2nd Stalker morphing in as we speak. Warp Gate is still not yet done. Here comes ByuN. And again, we didn't get a safety immortal. Like, we can't just wait for the Colossus like this. Oh, boy. Yeah, ByuN's moving out. Double scan. Colossus production has begun. But ByuN will hit first. Now, bearing in mind there's going to be, wait, 1? Sorry, we got 2. 2 Stalkers to defend, battery as well. Stim is now done. It does it. Okay, Stim's forward. Chasing down the Stalkers, and can he get on top of the Robo? Yeah, he gets 1, and gets 2. The Robo is exposed. First going for the Stalkers. The Colossus will pop. Okay, will pop out. But how many losses? Oh no, it's gonna be closed. He goes to the pylon. The pylon goes down, depowers the rover. Critical damage here. Medic is going to be targeted. Nice kiting here by ByuN, and ByuN, he will just overwhelm the army, takes down the final Stalker, takes down the economy, and can go for the pylon. GG gets called. ByuN, he will claim the series 2-0. GG. GG, well played. Even going CC first, his sim timing is brutal. And again, MinoVK, he was autopiloting a little bit. When it comes to the Robo into Bay into Colossus, this is the standard go-to, or this was the standard go-to build in StarCraft 2 against the StarCraft 2 sim timing. But in SC2, it does hit later because of all the add-ons, because of all the upgrades, does hit a little bit later. Here, it's an earlier timing, so to wait for the Colossus like that is very greedy. It's very, very greedy. I think you might be able to get away. Nah, not even. I was gonna say you might be able to get away with it if you went for an early sentry, so Stalker sentry instead. But even then, like even with force fields, like I don't know if you can really slow this down too much. Maybe you can get away with it with a force field at the natural. But again, very greedy defense here from Mindle. He gets punished, and ByuN does advance on. So GG, well played. ByuN will advance on into the next round, and we'll see who his opponent is going to be as he does advance on to the semi-finals. Meanwhile, we do have our next matchup. It is going to be a ZVP here between 3Point and Deathmars. Let's go. It's been a while. It's been a while since I've casted 3Point. 3Point, he has not been a very active player. During the off-season, he did not play in many Open Cups, even though he was a little bit more of a regular, like in Sparkling Tuna Cup, for example. 3Point was nowhere to be found. So I'm curious to see how he performs here in some SC Evo after such a long hiatus. He was one of the top Zerg players, but nowadays I'm less certain of that. Spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Ruby Rock, we do have the we do have the teal Protoss player, the SC2 Protoss representing 3D Clan. It is Deathmars. Let's go. And spawning in the top left hand corner and going for the 12 pool, we have the red Zerg player, the Brutal Zerg. It is 3Point. Here we go. So we have our ZVP. We do have our matchup here. And we'll see if Deathmars can keep up. Well, I mean, he is thankfully going for a Probe Scouts, and he will confirm the 12 pool that's coming his way. This might just be a 12 pool drone pool. Bear that in mind. Like 3Point may turn this into an all-in. Doesn't have to be an all-in. He can expand behind this, but otherwise he can just pull the boys and commit across the map. 3Point is known for cheese, and I just mentioned that 3Point, he hasn't really been very active. Actually, we have a cannon rush out of Deathmars. Ooh. He will delay the expansion. Deathmars, he should recognize that the hatchery is late. This is a late hatchery. 8 lings are in production. Does he go for defensive cannons? Hatchery is thrown down. Did have to re-wall. And here comes the all-in. Here comes a mass ling. There is going to be one defensive cannon and a full wall. I believe Deathmars, he should be able to defend here. This should be enough. And behind this, 3Point should be droning as he's getting more macro hatcheries. We'll see. We'll see how he does kind of bring this all together. So we're just link flooding. There we go. Drone production has begun. Cannon is almost complete. Lings, they can go for the Cyber Core. Ideally, they want to bait out the Zell, but the cannon should finish in time. Yep, cannon does finish, and these Lings, they achieve nothing. So in the end, 3Point does fall behind. He's got a late expansion. He's got a late, he's going to have a late third base, late gas income as well, and late droning. So all these Lings were not worth it. They were not worth it. When it comes to the initial build orders, Deathmars does come out ahead. If we had pulled the boys and drone drilled, I mean, even then, there's a high chance that the probe would have scouted that, and then Deathmars could have fully walled off. The one upside for 3Point is that Deathmars natural is delayed because of the earlier forge and cannon and cybercore. As this is going to be the Stargate opener. Okay. Oh, early Eva chamber out of our Zerg player. Interesting. We got the early chamber. With the early chamber, with the macro hatchery, and with another macro hatchery in the main, it looks like mass ling. Like, it looks like we're being very, very larva heavy. Of course, still no gas, right? Still no gas, so no ling speed, which is kind of weird. But no potential for lair or no hydra tech. Interesting. Yeah, very interesting here. Discount the Stargate earlier, so he's getting away with those spores. Micro hatcheries are finishing, still droning. Is the plan just to be hyper greedy? Just hyper greedy and just drone up as hard as possible with all this larva? I mean, gas is now being taken, so now we can work towards link speed. But this has to be just mass ling, right? Question mark? With like +1 melee as the upgrade. Link speed has begun. We'll see what is done with said Eva chamber. Oeste Actes de Cruz. Bienvenidos, papi, bienvenidos. Multiple hits. Gonna be zoned away. Is taking a bit of hydras. Okay, we have the answer here. Gases are being taken. We are building up a hydra tech. Meanwhile, masked Glaive Adepts here by Deathmars. Ay, ay, ay. Again, 3-point. Has he just been too greedy? Did he fall too far behind? We'll see how well the Hydras can stand up against the masked Glaive Adepts. Oh boy. Bearing in mind that Deathmars' store base is delayed, but 3-point should recognize that. Overlord is moving in. 3-point needs to confirm. Technically, it could be a fleet beacon into a second Stargate. There could be further tech. It is going to be a 2-base all-in. 6 gates. Sorry, did I say 6? 7. So 7 gate, sorry, 8 gate. Oh my god. So 2-base 8 gate all-in. We have the proxy gateways here bottom left to hide how committed this is. Overlord does confirm all the gates and will confirm the Twilight Council. This does screen glaives. Especially with the gas income. If we had pulled out a gas, then that's more indicative of charge. But for the most part, 3-point is aware. As Deathmars does commit, the other side arrives. Yeah, getting on top of the Hydras, getting 1, 2, 3, 4 Hydras. These Hydras, they just melt. He cannot keep up. We do get a surround though. Yeah, we attempt the surround. Ideally, we do have some Ling reinforcements. Yeah, Spine Call is not done. No Sunken Colony. Gets into the mineral line. Drone's going to be falling. Massive damage. Yeah, the colonies are finishing, but they can just leave. They can just shade into the main, and they will. They back off. They shade into the main base. 9 drone kills already. It's 9 mining. Thankfully, 3-point does pull away in time, and 3-point should clean this up, but has sustained a lot of losses. As more depths are shading in. They're on A move there. Yeah, they're on A move, attacking the Spine Crawler. That's the colony, I should say. Colony does go down. There's 1 colony left. Deathmars catching out some of the Hydras. But we have built up to critical mass. And head on fight, 3-point, he can fight. But there's too many adepts. Jesus. Yeah, there are just so many adepts. Ay, ay, ay. And 3-point, he has no economy. Not like this. Building up more Hydras, diving on the main army. More Hydras going down. And we just keep warping in. We just keep warping in. Wave after wave of adepts. It's just getting out of hand, getting out of control. 3-point cannot keep up. He cannot sustain these losses. 1 Hydra left. Oh no. Down to 0. Yeah, 0 Hydras. And Deathmars, he'll claim lead. He'll claim lead in the series. Again, 3-point was just so greedy this game. So greedy. It took him a long time to realize what was going on. Took him too long to confirm the all-in. GG gets called, and Deathmars takes game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Def Mars does claim a lead in the series. Again, 3-point for those who weren't here for it. Went for a 12-pool opener and 3-point fell behind. He fell behind. The 12-pool achieved 0 damage. He had a late natural, late third base, late hatcheries, late gases, late droning, late everything. And he was trying to be greedy in the follow-up, which is why the 2-base all-in works so well, why it hit so hard. It did hit hard. And now it's going to be on 3-point to try to recover. Bounce back, and make a series out of this. The pressure's on. Pressure's on 3 points. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Vermeer, we do have the SC2, the StarCraft 2 Protoss player, the red Protoss representing 3D Clan, leading the series 1-0. It is Def Mars. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the teal Zerg player. We have the Broodor Zerg. It is 3 points. I'll fix up the names. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Beautiful. But here we go. We're getting into game number 2 here. This time 3-point drones. This time no 12 pool. We're calming down. We're building up. Hydras usually trade well against that, so I guess not from that far behind. Yeah, usually Hydras, I mean, when it comes to Hydra versus Adept, ideally you do have some kind of buffer, right? Ideally you do have some links to help buffer and you have an economy. But remember, with the failed 12 pool, like 3-point was kind of like stumbling his way into the mid game. He was limping along, he was cutting corners. Like, it was a really shaky start for 3-point, which is why the 2-base all-in works so well, because 3-point was playing from a deficit. Meanwhile, Cannon Rush. Let's go. We do have our Forge. Cannon's going to be on the way, and we'll see how 3-point can keep up as we do, or as we're setting up with those cannons. And 3-point, he doesn't know. No, he doesn't know. Yeah, he has no idea. That is a hatch before pool. He cannot stop this. He cannot stop this. These cannons will get up and running, as there's just nothing to defend. There's no pool. Just now being thrown down such a late spawning pool after both hatcheries. And Def Mars, he will double down. He'll commit a little bit harder here. Yeah, drones are now confirmed. The Forge was spotted. Ooh, the probe is going to get surrounded. Oh, good. The probe almost goes down. Cannon does finish. Kills the drone, denies mining. And we're even get eyes on another hatch. Jesus, there's so many hatcheries. Did cancel though. Did cancel at least one hatchery. Did replace. Cannon Rush being set up at the 3rd location. Nothing being done with the gateway yet. As the pylon does finish. And cannons can be thrown down. And cannons are being thrown down. Honestly, this probe could just attack. Hatchery's under fire. And I believe the hatchery should be killed. We could have definitely thrown down a second cannon earlier. So a late second cannon. Yeah, Lings are popping out, and these cannons, they're going to be shut down. They're going to be shut down. So it looks like 3-point, he will save one of his hatcheries at least. And it does save a hatchery. Def Mars has yet to expand. Yeah, this was a shaky execution from Def Mars. And he's setting up back at home. We're getting messy. Getting messy here. Cannon does finish. Deters the Zerglings. Hydrogen is on the way. And Hydras are coming. Now, because of the messy start that we've had, because of the lack of expansion, this all-in can work quite well. Going for the Hydras, just avoiding this kind of setup here. Rushing across the map, there's nothing to defend, there's only one cannon, there's no production. There's one gate on the way, still no expansion, so it's a one-base all-in here from Def Mars. Hydras, I feel like we can ignore this. Yeah, we can just ignore this setup. Just ignore this position. Move across the map. There's just nothing here. There's one cannon. That's all there is to defend. One cannon and a recall. And even then, hopefully there's no chrono boost being spent. Even then, a recall would what, bring back home one Stalker and one Zealot? And one Adept? Second cannon is going to finish. We have a battery as well. There's the recall. There's the recall back home. First cannon does get bursted down. Brings out one, brings out the other. There's no NG overcharge, and with that, we have a series. We have a series, we have a back and forth. The Hydra all-in has arrived. We do open a couple of Stalkers though. Okay. There are 3 Stalkers to defend. Oh, down to 2. It's still a very close trade here. The Hydra should come out on top. The boys are being pulled to buffer. Okay. Def Marcy's barely holding on. At the same time, though, we have more Hydras coming in. Yeah, more Hydras. I'm going for the Artosis Pylon. Denying Blink. And can now move in. And can now move in. Again, we've had some nice kiting with these Stalkers. Once again, the boys are being pulled. I'm sure 3-point is happy to trade here. Happy to trade. Oh, so come in for this around. And that's going to be every single worker falling here. 13, 14, 15 probes falling. No economy left. This Hydra started to step in. 17 probe kills. Crazy damage. Down to 9 probes in the main. Meanwhile, across the map, I mean, 3-point can just drone if he wanted to. He's not. It's 3-point. He's not going to macro. Cleans up the proxy. And even with Blink, Def Mars, these 5 Stalkers, let's go. Hey, gets a Hydra. Denies mining. Blink is done in 6 seconds. It's not going to be done in time though. Yeah, Blink does finish. We try to get away. 2 Stalkers to go down. 3 Stalkers left. GG gets called and 3-point ties up the series. We are going to the ace match. Whew. GG. We're going to the ace match. We're going all the way to game 3 here. Again, Def Mars, he did commit to the cannon rush, but he doubled down quite hard and he never did expand. He forced himself all in. It was a very messy game there from both players, to be fair, but Def Mars didn't achieve enough damage. If he was able to kill the macro hatch, sorry, the third base, if he was able to deny the third base as well, he was a little bit more attentive to throw down extra cannons there, then maybe he could have pulled that off and contained his opponent, but he failed to contain a 3-point. 3-point could freely just move out, freely get across the map, and did get his hatchery up and running. GG. GG, well played. With that, we're now getting into the ace match. It all ends here. It all ends on Celestial Enclave. Spawning in the top right-hand corner of Celestial Enclave, we have the teal Protoss player. Oh. Hold on. Yeah, we'll have to fix that up. There we go. In the top right hand corner, we have the SC2 Protoss player with the teal Protoss. It is Def Mars. Oh, not on Protoss Pro on 3D Clan. And spawning in the bottom hand corner, we have the Brutal Zerg player. We have the red Zerg for Team Hyper 1. It is 3 points. Here we go. Building up here into our early game. So far it is going to be hatch first. Meanwhile, Def Mars does move out with the probe, and he does come in from behind into the pocket expansion to scout. I believe Def Mars should be expanding. We have a gateway back at home into Nexus, but we'll be able to get a free scout into the main base. No shenanigans in the pocket. No shenanigans. Ooh, for the first time this series, Hatch Gas Pool standard opener out of 3 points. He knows how to play standard. Crazy. Does go Hatch Gas Pool. And again, welcome to Celestial Enclave. Celestial Enclave is one of the more macro maps in the map pool. A very large map, long rush distance by ground, and higher chance that we build up in towards a mid-game setup. We've yet to experience that. It's been a very fast series so far. Very fast games. I should say short games overall, and very high octane kind of setups here with cannon rushes, with 12 pools, with all-ins. Finally, can we macro? Can we macro it up? As 3 point does expand, claiming his third. Does claim his third base. Likewise, back at home, Def Mars is going to be setting up, going for his own Stargate. So let's go for the Stargate opener into Oracle and harass across the map. Likewise, Def Mars can also go for the pocket expansion, but typically advise to keep it a little bit safe and save it for like a fourth base or a fifth base later on down the line. We'll see how our players set up. From here, we're expecting Ling into heavy Hydra play out of 3 points. But there are other options available, of course. Whether it's Muta play, that's kind of it, really. That's or Ling and rushing into Hive Tech, into Ultra. True. Adeptus Shades in. Shades in, gets 2 Zerglings, not bad. I say 2 Lings, sorry, getting 4 Lings in a drone, okay. Nice trade here from Def Mars. Back at home, walling off. Early Eva Chamber out of 3 points. We're expecting +1 melee, but we'll see if we go into any other upgrade. Yeah, boys are being pulled. Let's say Shade past the initial site defense. Getting another 2 drones. Oof. Yeah, 2 more drones go down. This is slowly adding up. The oracles are also coming in. No spore. Yeah, no spore colony. We have to evacuate the natural. No spore in the main either. Just free down. Oh god, this is getting out of hand. It's getting out of hand here. Spores are not ready in time. It's gonna be 5, 6, 7 drones. Oh. That is not acceptable. Losing 7 drones here in the early game is brutal. So really shaky start here for 3 points. Going to +1 range, going to a more Hydra heavy composition, and 3 point may be forced into an all-in just because of all this damage. But the problem is that all-inning here on Celestial Enclave is so difficult. That might just have to be the go-to. Back at home, Def Mars going for a Robo follow-up, not Twilight Council. This feels like Colossus play. This would usually coincide with a Forge, but no, we have the early Prism instead. Early Prism, Sentry's going to be warping in. Do we go for a Soul Train-esque all-in? I mean, these Sentry all-ins should work very, very nicely, just because from the Broodor side of things, there's no access to Ravagers. There's no way to deal with Force Fields. There's no way. Not early on. So these Sentry-heavy all-ins can hit very hard due to the power and the strength of the Force Field. Def Mars does move out. It does start to move out across the map, and back at home, 3 point is going to have a very shaky defense. Throws out a wall of sunken colonies. It all comes down to the force fields. Speaking of, does start to step in, zones away a handful of Hydras, not too many though. Oof. Yeah, Hydra's going to be going down. Again, the other colonies are not ready. We're down to what, 5 Hydras. He gets locked in. No, he gets locked in. And every Hydra will fall. The all-in has arrived. The colonies are just not ready in time. Spore gets thrown away. Bit of an A move. Boys are being pulled in. We just keep warping in there. Yeah, we just commit. And with that, 3 point has been broken. We'll lose the colonies, the drones, and the Hydras. The everything factory. The juggling. The control. Death Mars, he kites back. He kites back again. We got 5 Hydras left. Warpins continue. They're catching up the Overlords. Can supply block. I say it can, it will. Assuming all these Overlords go down. Jesus, yeah, it does supply block 3 points. What you see is what you get. No more sentries remaining. I should say no more force shields remaining. As boys are being pulled, Stalkers, they have the high ground, they got up the ramp. Once again, nice juggling, nice control. He blinks back. Oof. As we'll start losing Stalkers. Uh-oh. Yeah, 1, 2, 3 Stalkers going down. The Warpins continue. Can he deny the Warpin? Oh, he can. Just barely denies the Warpin. 3 point does hold, but does he survive? 3 point, he has 15 drones. He has no economy. Death Mars miles ahead. The all-in may not have killed, but did cripple. Did cripple his opponent. 3 point is completely all in. 3 point has to counterattack, and back at home, Death Mars just has to survive. Now, there was no Bay, there was no Colossus follow-up here. It is just, and again, Death Mars, he can just expand. He can just take his own pocket base. Yeah, there's nothing stopping him here. 3 point, he turns around with his Hydras. 3 point is trying to drone up, trying to saturate. It's a rough road to recover here for 3 points. Do we have a backup prism? We do. Okay, so Death Mars had the option to just expand and probe up and build up a greater economy, but no, Death Mars, he decides to commit, to double down, and to go for the all-in. To go for the second wave. And 3 point has 11 Hydras. There's no defending the natural. Yeah, there's no holding onto the natural. We ignore it. This time there are some force fields. Guardian Shield is activated. Activates Guardian Shield. Hydra's going to be falling. We're trying to make a stand. 14 Hydras. Stalkers are making their way up the ramp. Now there's no more mischance. Yeah, no more mischance. So every Hydra will fall. Once again, we pull the boys, but there's barely any boys to pull. There's barely an economy. And GG gets called. Death Mars, who will claim the series 2-1, advancing on to the semi-finals. GG. GG, well played. Death Mars does claim the series. Shout out to 3 point for making it here to the quarterfinals, making it this far. Once again, I was curious as to 3 point's play just because he has been on a big hiatus, and unfortunately it was very messy here. Whether it was the 12 pools early on or even in this game of having the late colonies, right? The late spore colonies. It was so delayed. The first Oracle did game-ending damage to begin with. 7 drones. 7 drones went down early on to the first Oracle, and behind us we then had the 2 base all in. We saw that unfortunately 3 point, he was stuck trying to re-drone, trying to resaturate and everything. As a result of that, was very late, or was just a little bit too late to defend the later the later spine colonies to defend the natural base, for example. Later Hydra production as well. It was all just messy. It was all just stifled because of the early game aggression. GG. The Adept harass and the Oracle harass as well. True. The Adepts were also doing a lot of damage. So with that, Death Mars did pull them apart, and with that we do have our semi-finalists. So ByuN does advance onto the semis, Death Mars does advance onto the semi-finals as well, and we do have our top 4 here. It is going to be Death Mars versus ByuN and Classic versus Creator. Oh boy. Un momento. So we are getting ready for our first semifinals match. Bearing in mind that for StarCraft Evolution, the semifinals are best of 5s. They are best of 5s, not best of 3s. Let's go. Let us go. As you delve into another TVP. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Red Terran representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the teal Protoss player. We have the StarCraft or the SE, the Brutal Protoss. It is Deathmars. Let's go. Let us go. As we have purely Protoss and Terran remaining in the event, which is what we're used to be fair. Oh, and Deathmars opening up with a proxy. Okay. Some cheeky builds here, some cheeky play out of Deathmars. We'll see if he can get away with the proxy location here on the top side. ByuN so far is playing standard, going for the initial Rax opener. There's a very high chance that ByuN will skip the SCV, by the way. That he will skip the SCV scouts. That is very common in TVP, and I'm concerned if ByuN will skip it or if he does go for a later scout. Eyes are on ByuN. As the gateways are getting up. Here we go. Do have our 3 gates, and I would imagine a 4th gateway behind this into a 4-gate 1-base all-in with mass zealots. No gases are taken. Yeah, no gases. Okay, we are going for an SCV scout, thankfully. So ByuN does scout across the map. And he will confirm. Does confirm the lack of gas. Does confirm the lack of gateways. Now he knows. Yeah, now he knows. He does fully wall off. As a result of that, we should be seeing a safety bunker on the high ground. There we go. Bunkers on the way so far. Good reaction. Good response here by ByuN. Remember, it's purely Zealot. These are melee-based units. They do rely on surface area. That is why it is crucial here to fully wall off and to get that bunker up as quickly as possible to make a stand. Likewise, it was a single gas. Yeah, it was still a single gas opener, so a later factory here by ByuN. Yeah, delayed factory, that will hurt him. ByuN's initial plan was to go for a CC before factory, so the build has been disrupted, and the Zealots have arrived. The Zealots have arrived, the boys are being pulled. I don't see a world where these Zealots break through, to be honest. Like, as long as we can pull the boys to repair, ByuN should be okay. Yeah, ByuN should be fine. Cybercore does finish, we have Dragoons now in production. ByuN does hold initially, going for the tech lab, but with this he can either go Cyclone first or Tank first. They both have their place. Deathmars doubling down, going for the proxy robo into shuttle. ByuN does eBay block, ensuring that there is no proxy, there is no ninja base. There's no other expansion. ByuN going for his own 1-1-1. Does go for his own 1-1-1 here, as we do have the shuttle on the way. That will provide some high ground vision, bearing in mind that there is a mischance of trying to attack up the ramp. That will hinder Deathmars. Cyclone is out. He's here to zone away the shuttle. Army gets spotted. Cyclone locks on. Nice lock on. Behind this we have our tanks on the way, Viking as well, to ensure that the shuttle does not push in. Proxy is confirmed. We have a Bay on the way that is going to be for Reaver play. Oh. Deathmars does rotate into the main. ByuN out of position. Once again, does lock onto the shuttle. No! And the shuttle does barely go down. We'll lose the Viking in the process, but that was worth it. Yeah, now there's no shuttle. Now there's no high ground vision. ByuN is secure. Sets up his tank. Yeah, massive tank flow is going off. Tank is going to be focused down though. It did overextend, but okay, there's a second tank behind this. Massive tank flow. Dragoons are barely standing. Down to 1 Dragoon, down to 0. Yeah, 0 units left. GG gets called, and ByuN will take game number 1. Whew. GG. ByuN does take a lead in the series. Again, Deathmire going for a cheeky all-in, but ByuN, he did scout. Once again, I will say that it feels like Deathmire was heavily reliant on ByuN not going for the SCV scout, right? If there was no SCV scout, there's a very high chance this works, but ByuN, he scouted, he confirmed, he walled off immediately, got the bunker up and running, did prioritize the factory, and was able to have a secure and clean defense. GG. GG, well played. A bit of a gamba there, a bit of a gamble out of Deathmire was not worth it. And now we're loading into game number 2. We're loading into game 2. Game 2 is going to be on Vermeer. Here we go, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Vermeer, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Brood War Terran representing Shopify. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the the blue Protoss player. We have the SC2 Protoss for 3D Clan. It is Deathmire. And welcome to Vermeer. Vermeer is a 4-player spawn map. We have top right, top left, and bottom right. 4 possible spawn locations, and we'll see how our players will approach each other here. It is very common to see CC first, very common, but after what Deathmire just went for in game 1, there's a high chance he goes for another all-in, so I don't know if ByuN will take the risk to go for that faster command center. He's going for it. You can see ByuN is banking on resources. CC first out of ByuN, a bold move here after being cheesed in game 1, but does go for it. This means a later Rax. Based on history here, it looks like ByuN should be going for a 3 Rax follow-up into Stim, but there is a chance he does go into Mech. Eyes are on ByuN here. But in last series, it did end up going into 3 Raxes. Deathmire sees scouts top left, confirms that ByuN is not there. There it is. It is going to be CC first into a 3-Rax Stim timing. We saw the same thing between ByuN and MinoVK earlier in the broadcast. So we've already seen this build. I will say that the Stim timing is going to be hitting later. It's going to be a delayed Stim timing due to the rush distance by ground and due to the fact that ByuN doesn't actually know where Deathmire is. ByuN knows Deathmire is either a top right or bottom right. One of 2 locations. The reasoning for that is that in StarCraft Evolution, on 4-player spawn maps, one of the spawn locations is removed. So both players know that there were only 2 locations possible. ByuN knows that top left is empty. It is a way to reduce some of the RNG and some of the RNG nature of a 4-player spawn map. There we go, Marines are amassing. No Academy yet, true. Working towards the Academy. Meanwhile, Deathmire, he does go for his own Twilight Council opener. Twilight Council most likely into Blink. Meanwhile, the Academy has begun. Building up into the Academy. Stim starts up. Starts up Stim. Get some medics on the way as well. ByuN will soon be moving out across the map, and we'll see if Deathmire can slow down the push. Deathmire, did he scout the Raxes? He did. Yeah, he got a full scout. He's fully aware of the Stim timing coming his way. We should soon be seeing batteries here at the natural. As Deathmire does go 4-gate Blink, actually. Interesting. ByuN will hit first. Bear that in mind. Dev shades into the main. ByuN, he pushes, catching out the Stalker. Ooh, that should not have happened, but Stalker does get caught out. And again, this gateway explosion is going to hit too late. There's a scan. He does reveal that the robo wasn't even done. Late battery. Yeah, late batteries are on the way, warping in 1 unit at a time. ByuN, he can end the game with this push. It's going to be close. It's going to be close here. Boys are coming. Okay, safety immortal. Good call. Making the safety immortal. There's a sentry. There's the energy overcharge. Batteries almost complete. He gets one. He gets two. Yeah, 2 batteries are done. Now, I will say, now that 2 batteries are done, and now that we have the sentry as well, I think Death Mars holds. Sims in. Yeah, Sims in, spots the batteries, pulls away. Yeah, ByuN cannot break this. Good call out of ByuN. A nice judge of defensive setup here. Death Mars defense. And from here, the game will continue. We'll continue. Seeing chat, who is Death Mars? If you're a little bit unfamiliar, Death Mars has been around for a long time. Am I crazy? Like, he's been around since like 2020 at least. Uh, 2019. Yeah. So he was active pre-COVID. Been around for a while. Death Mars does move out. Darts are in the natural. And does not get a marine. A nice defense here by ByuN. ByuN holds, diving on the sentry, does focus it down. Not bad. Takes down the sentry, but bleeds out his medics. Yeah, a bit of a back and forth trade here. The prism gets low. Oh, he gets the prism. Oh, no, the prism goes down. Oh, God. Nice trades here by ByuN. Catching up the sentries, the prism as well, gets a full scout into the main. And behind this, ByuN is securing himself. Yeah, he does secure. Building up more maxes, building up his tank line. At this point has lost map control, that is true, but more than happy to just chill back at home. Just chill back at home. Death Mars, he had to rebuild his prism. Now moving out. Third CC is on the way. ByuN just turtling up. And we'll see if Death Mars can break through. Can he break him? Charge is done. With charge not complete, he can dive on top of the bunker and no repairs. Yeah, no repairs. Bunker does fall. Tanks, they were late to siege. Yeah, very late to siege here. Now we can try to force some friendly fire. Tank follows on the stalkers. Boys are being pulled. And ByuN holds. Yeah, ByuN, he does hold on. He wants that prism. Prism does barely get away. Did I speak too soon? He wants it. He sims. He stims in and the prism goes down. Oh my god, GG gets called. Massive loss, and ByuN, he will take a 2-0 lead in the series. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, Death Mars had a good start. Death Mars, he was able to react and defend well against the stim timing, but it was the aftermath. It was Death Mars committing to a 2-base all-in, right? After defending, he went for his own 2-base all-in, no third expansion. If he wanted to, he could have taken a third base and built up into the mid-game, but he chose to double down. He chose to throw down more gateways, get into an 8-gate setup on 2 bases, committing to the all-in. It was brutal that he was going all-in and he lost the first War Prism. That meant that he was delayed when it came to his push, and of course across the map, he also did, I mean, it wasn't just the Prism being lost, but he committed to the natural. He was unable to get on top of the tanks. GG. GG will play. Nice target firing out of ByuN, as I'm sure Death Mars was hoping for friendly fire. I'm sure he was hoping for a bit of friendly fire. As we're now loading into Sylphid for game number 3. The pressure is on. ByuN needs one more game to claim the series. Death Mars needs one game to make a series out of this. To begin the comeback. Let's go. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Sylphid, we have the once again, a Brood War Terran player. The Brood War Terran, we have the Red Terran representing Shopify. It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the Blue Protoss player representing 3D Clan. The SC2 Protoss, it is Death Mars. Here we go. As we are settling into game number 3 here, potentially the final game of the series. Welcome to Sylphid. Sylphid is a 3-player spawn map. You can spawn in bottom right, bottom left, or top side as well. 3 possible spawn locations. But what we have seen so far, there's been a bit of a trend here with Deathmars, is non-stop all-ins. Non-stop all-ins. He has not macroed at all this series. It's been hyper aggressive. I will say the same about the quarterfinals match as well, where Deathmars was going for cannon rushes and all-ins. And at this point, ByuN, I'm sure, has caught on to this. Once again, CC first. CC first out of ByuN. Into the Rax follow-up. High chance that we go CC first into 3 Rax stim once again. Ooh, meanwhile, a 2-gate opener. Okay, much more aggressive here. 2-gate opener out of Deathmars. With this, he can apply a lot of pressure early on. He's looking for ByuN's spawn location. Probe does move out. There are those 3 Maxes, and remember, behind this we're going for Stim. The Academy into Stim is going to be the follow-up. Deathmars does scout top side, and doesn't find ByuN. Not yet. So Deathmars is not aware of how greedy ByuN was here in the early game. He can hazard a guess. It's very common to see CC first here on Sylphid. And we are going to be opening up double Adept. Remember, this tells me that we have 2 Adepts quite quickly here. We can even get into another set. That's going to be a Twilight Council before Expand. Proxy Gate was on the way, 1 base all in. Okay. Just 1 base all in here by Deathmars is going to commit, going to double down. Now, something that's working for Deathmars is no SCV scout. There's no vision. There's no vision. There's no scouting out of ByuN. ByuN has no idea what's going on, and as a result, he's already getting a safety bunker. There's already going to be 1 safety bunker, but we'll see how quickly ByuN reacts to repair. We will see. As it's going to be very difficult defense for ByuN, considering he has no idea what's going on. Not impossible, but difficult. Ideally, the Adepts want to distract ByuN while the Stalkers amass. Blink is on the way. Adepts commit into the main. Marines, they attempt to hold their own. And that's going to be 1, 2, 3 Marines going down. Can we get 4? Settles to 3. Shades into the natural. So finance control by ByuN, pulls away. Saves the SCVs. Losing 0 SCVs so far. Oh my god. Losing 0 SCVs so far. Another Adept just shading into the main, or the same Adept I should say. Kills 1 worker. Delays the depot. Shades back. The SCVs are low. Doesn't shade. No. Yeah, it doesn't quite shade. But Blink is almost done. Blink is almost complete. Again, we have 2 gateways across the map. We have 2 gateways back at home, so it's going to be 1 base 4 gate Blink all in. Is it too late though? Stim is done. Right? Like, Stim is done. We already have medics. We have the bunker. Does Deathmars have enough? Bearing in mind that ByuN will pull the boys to defend. He scans. There we go. He confirms. No natural. No natural base. Big scan there for ByuN. He knows. Does confirm the army. Confirms you all in. Boys are being pre-pulled. They repair. Okay, they repair in time. And remember, he can stim. He's holding onto it. He's holding onto the stim. There we go. Does push in. Diving on the army. Doesn't catch any Stalkers yet. Ooh, second stim. And he's spending a lot of stims here. Takes down 1, 2, 3 Stalkers. Oh god. The target firing. Crazy. It does target fire. That's going to be 7 Stalkers going down. Crazy damage. And he can stim again. Gets another. And he just bullies. Yeah, he just bullies back the army. Takes on every single Stalker. Who needs bunkers, by the way. Reinforcements, they come in from behind. But this was well worth it for ByuN, as he does catch 2 more Stalkers at the end. Well, that's what, 10? 11. 11 Stalker kills. And ByuN is still amassing an army. He's still building on more Marines. I mean, his initial force hasn't even been dealt with. Like, he's still going. He's still going across the map. GG gets called, the all-in fails, and ByuN will claim the series 3-0, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. GG, well played. Yes, the power of Stim. The power of Stim, that'd be very impressive as ByuN shuts down the all-in. As we mentioned, the 4-gate blink all-in just hit so late. So by the time it hit, Stim was done. Stim was already complete with a standard, with even a CC first build here. So again, ByuN, he was more than ready for it, more than prepared. Thankfully, he did scan. He confirmed the lack of expansion. He was able to pull the boys, repair, and set up defensively back at home. So with that, ByuN, he was more than ready. And ByuN, he will advance on. He'll advance on to the grand finals. And we have our next series getting ready here. It is going to be a best of 5. It's going to be a best of 5 here between Classic and Creator in the lower semis. Let's go. Let us go. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, top side here of Sylphid, we have the red Protoss player. We have the SC2 Protoss representing Protoss Pro. It is Classic. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Protoss player. We have the Brutal Protoss. It is a Creator. Let's go. Let us go. We're back. We have our best of 5. We have our semifinals, and now we have some of the bigger names facing off against each other. Creator, he's one of the newer players to kind of like get indoctrinated into StarCraft Evolution. He only started playing a couple of months ago, which sounds like a long time, but like in the grander scheme of things, he's one of the newer players. He did start playing alongside Cure, alongside Rogue, alongside Solar. This would have been what, like November-ish of last year, post EWC. So last year, post EWC, is when we had like a newer wave of Korean players trying out StarCraft Evolution, and Creator is one of them. So he hasn't been playing for too long. He's got less experience compared to Classic, but we'll see how he holds his own. So now we're going to be opening up. We do open up. It is going to be Classic embracing SC2 Protoss, Creator with Brood War. 2-gate opener out of Creator. Meanwhile, Nexus first out of Classic. Wow. Okay, straight Nexus first. Creator does confirm. Now, if we were casting regular SC2 PvP, I would expect to see a 1-base all-in. Let's go. 1-base all-in. I'm curious if this response is anywhere near as strong. Like, StarCraft 2 1-base all-ins, especially Proxy Robo, can hit very, very hard and hit very fast just because of the power and the strength of the Immortal. But here, taking up into Disruptors, taking up into Reavers, there's a lot more hoops to kind of jump through, so it has to be a Dragoon-based all-in instead. Yeah, it has to be Master Dragoon. Supply block here for Creator. Yeah, a bit of a supply block does slow him down. And will Master Dragoon break Classic, as Classic does confirm the 2-gate opener? Does scout the 2-gate, Classic does no. Yeah, so now it is going to be the Robo. So we do have the Robo response. Meanwhile, extra gateways are finishing up. Do have extra gateways here, getting up to a 4-gate Master Dragoon. Dragoons that have arrived, they do hit the natural. Natural is hit. Yeah, and with that, the battery's going to be going down. I mean, it's still going to be a tough hold here for Classic. He cannot wait for his Robo. Yeah, the Stalkers, they should be overwhelmed, and Creator should punish. Okay, he will. He is. He is punishing. As the All-In has arrived, catching out 6 probes. There's a backup battery. Dragoons, they will soon have range, and with range, like, I don't see Classic holding. I'll be honest. Like, the Immortal will help, but he needs more time. Does need more time. Losing another Stalker. Oof. Stalker goes down. Sentry as well. There are just so many Dragoons. We just ignored the battery. Can we get down on top of the Immortal though? Yeah, not quite. We gotta respect the Immortal. Shields are triggered. Shields run out. Dragoons, they can commit, and they will. Okay, Star steps in. He can 3-shot. One more volley. Gets the Immortal, and that's gonna be game. That's gonna be game. There's nothing left. The 4-gate 1-base All-In. Creator, he punishes the greed of Classic. He punishes. And Classic, I mean, there's one Immortal waddling in. It's on its own. Da-da. And again, Creator should overwhelm. Once again, triggers the shields. 2 shots to Stalker. Oh, does sustain a lot of damage though. Has to be careful. Has to shuffle his units. Nice shuffling. It does rotate. So there we go. It does 3-shot the Immortal. And GG gets called. GG gets called. Creator, he will take game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played, Creator. He does claim a lead in the series, and we'll see if he can extend that. We'll see if Classic can recover. One thing for certain, though, Classic should not go Nexus first again. He was so greedy going Nexus first here on Sylphid, and he was correctly punished for the greed. Classic was punished. Creator takes a lead, and we'll see if Creator can go further. Let's go. As we are loading into Ruby Rock, and we should be seeing a much more tame opener out of Classic. Should be. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the red Protoss player, the SC2 Protoss, representing Virtus Pro. It is Classic. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the Brood War Protoss. We have the South Korean Protoss representing himself, leading the series 1-0. It is Creator. Let's go. Let us go. As Creator does move out immediately for a probe scouts. Does move out across the map. And we're setting up for a proxy once again. Okay. No, my apologies. Cannon Rush. Forge first into Cannon Rush. I mean, Cannon Rushes are stronger here for Brutal Protoss just because of the strength of the pylon. Creator's moving in. And we've seen Classic die to Cannon Rushes before. We've seen it happen before. He lost to Rebellion, if you remember. Yeah, the pylons have been thrown down. Boys are being pulled. Ooh, as we do have Classic setting up his own Forge defensively. Okay. Defensive Forge, that's typically how you want to respond. Is defensive cannons. Classic does pull the wall to complete. He does force it. But now here comes second probe, and now we have more cannons. Yeah, more cannons going to be on the way. Classic, he has to pull the boys. Oh my god, the probe gets low. Yeah, the probe is very low. But the first cannon will finish. The third cannon should be cancelled. There we go. Does cancel the cannons. A third probe does arrive. We need more cannons. Let's surround. Oh my god, the probe takes so much damage here. Does not get another cannon up and running. Gets zoned away. And now you have defensive cannons for Classic within range of the pylon. It looks like Classic holds. Again, Creator, he just cannot gain ground. Oh no. Tries to get a cannon. gets one, but gets killed instantly. GG gets called. The counter rush fails, and Classic does tie the series 1-1. Whew, GG. GG, well played. We do tie things up here. Once again, like Creator, he just wasn't able to get any momentum. We saw that Classic did such a great job at focusing down those cannons and focusing down the probes specifically, making sure there were no cannons within range of the mineral line. GG. GG, well played. The cannon rush is denied, and we have a series. We have a back and forth. Let's go. Here we go. You just get a forge of your own. Yes, that is the normal cannon rush defense. I say normal cannon rush defense even in regular SE2. I mean obviously one way to do it is to pull the boys and to focus down your opponents like pylons and cannons. That is true, but usually a good defense is getting your own forge and getting your own defensive cannons, just because if once you get your own cannons up and running, you essentially ensure that your opponent cannot push in, right? Like you create a wall of your own, and your opponent just cannot gain any ground themselves, as they cannot get within range of your opponent's cannons anymore once they're up and running. Once the defensive cannons are up, I should say. But here we go. Here we go. We're getting into our next game. We're getting into Vermeer, and spawning in the bottom hand corner of Vermeer, we have the Brood War Protoss player representing Virtus Pro, tying up the series. It is Classic. I know some mineral pylon walls are unbreakable. I would imagine it's very map dependent, right? I'm sure there are certain maps where if you saw the initial cannon that was thrown down by Creator that he set up was not within range of anything, right? I mean, sorry, I should say it was within range of a gas geyser, but that's it. But I'm sure there are certain maps where you can set that up where you are within range of the opponent's mineral line. That's different, right? Like if you're within range of the mineral line with your first cannon, then I mean, what do you do? so for sure, it's very map dependent. In the top left hand corner, we have the SC2 Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss. It is Creator. Let's go. Here we go. As Creator, he does move out once again with the early scouts. It is going to be once again Nexus first at a Classic. Nexus first into his 2 gateways. I believe Creator should respond with an all-in, but we'll keep an eye on him. We'll keep an eye on this probe, as we should be throwing down a pylon and a robo, or another gateway. Yep, here we go. So again, just hyper greed out of Classic, going Nexus first. Pylon gets thrown down, and Classic, he's looking for the proxy. Does scout on the right hand side. Doesn't find the proxy yet. And it is going to be proxy robo. And proxy robo, one base all in from Creator. You see Classic still searching. He does check the center of the map as well. He's not checking the third location. Now moving up with the Zealot. Okay. Nicely done. Zealot has arrived, going for the pylon. Can he deny this initial proxy? As here come the initial depths, here comes a backup probe, and backup pylon as well. This robo will stay powered. Zealot is going to be zoned away. Will even fall. Dragoons are amassing for Classic. Massing up the Dragoons. We are setting up, but meanwhile we do have the initial Immortal already. Immortal first into Prism. Dragoons to do catch out the first pylon. Pylon goes down. Extra weapons into the main base. The Immortal has arrived, going for that toasted pylon even, or at least he could. If we're not trading with the workers. And does trade with the workers here. Dragoon's trying to keep up. Now the Immortal almost gets surrounded. Almost gets shut down. Nice force field though. Zones away the army. Yeah, brutal force field. Do we have another? Ooh. It looks like there is. Another force field. Prism is zoned away. Prism barely survives. And the trades are insane. Yeah, the Immortal finally goes down though. We're getting messy. We're getting messy. That's still 18 probe kills. More Stalkers are rallying forward. There's one battery on the low ground, but Creator, he takes over the main. He just takes over the main base. Cashing out more Dragoons. Is finally going to be forced out. But Classic has nothing. Classic is down to 4 probes. there's nothing here. There's no economy. 4 workers left for Classic. There's nothing left, Pappy. Once again, punished for going Nexus first. Gets punished for it. As Creator does chase, GG gets called, and Creator, he will take a lead in the series 2-1. GG does take a lead here again. Classic, he went for a very greedy start, a very greedy build. Unfortunately, he was not able to zone away the prism. If he could deflect the prism from his main base, and he could deny the force fields, but once the prism got in, once we got the massive unload, I mean, what could Classic do there? He was just unable to stop the army. He was zoned out of his own expansion. You cannot recall back into your main base as the brutal Protoss. It's all about positional play, and with that, Classic was out of position. GG. GG, well played. Creator takes the lead, and Creator, he needs one more game to claim the series. Let's go. Let's go. Looks like Classic killed his own Dragoon that was on the high ground. Even if he did, I did miss it. If that was the case, like, that would not have made the defense there for for Classic, unfortunately. It was just, it was brutal. But here we go. We are loading into Kion, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Kion, we have the red Protoss player. We have the SC2 Protoss representing Protoss Pro down in the series. Can he bounce back? It is Classic. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have the brutal Protoss player. We have the purple Protoss. It is a Creator. Here we go. As we are building up here. Once again, welcome to Kion. Kion is a, I believe, 2-player small map. Yeah. It's a 2-player small map, and it is a very unique map as well. It's very Mac oriented, very Mac oriented. As you can see, you do have your own very safe, very tucked away natural expansion. Then you can then expand here towards the right hand side. I will say the third is a little bit more exposed, but the terrain here is very awkward to actually engage. And I would say the third base is relatively safe and secure, as you can even take your 4th base on the high ground. So you have your initial 4 base set up here in your own corner of the map. If we can get there. So far it's been purely all-ins, and Creator, he moves out with 2 probes, proxy. The real question is, will we ever get into a macro mid-game? Will we ever establish a 2-base economy? So far that has not been the case, and that shouldn't be the case here either. We can see the Creator, he does actually scout, oh, bottom right, okay. I'm pretty sure this is not a 4-player small map. But we're setting up. Jesus, we have proxies everywhere. Okay, maybe it is. My apologies. When it comes to the scouting. Oh my god. So Classic does set up the pylon here in the center. Creator does miss it. Creator going for his own proxy here on the right hand side. We're proxying each other. We're getting chaotic. So proxy robo versus proxy gates. Who hits first is the question. My other concern here, as Creator is going to be rallying across the map, is my concern is if Creator finds this and shuts it down as he rallies. Because this is the main attack path. Like, this is the only way for Creator to get across the map. The probe does delay, does distract, which is good. Oh, Creator going for proxy Citadel, going to Mass Zealots. Uh-oh. Does Creator push? If he doesn't push across the map, this robot will finish. Yeah, Creator, he does not move out. Oof. Wait, what? He's going into DTs. He's going Citadel of Adun into the Temple Archives into a DT rush. As Creator, he still doesn't know what's going on. He has failed to scout. I feel like he could have shut this down if he was more active and more aggressive. And because of the robo, there is access to detection. I like the idea, but again, he just doesn't know. Show us a Dark Templar. Oh, there it is. DT's on the way. But Classic has the tools to defend. He has the tools. Yes, here we go. Classic does move in. We have a defensive DT, true. There is a defensive Dark Templar. It's about to be revealed. Do we get an Observer in time? As Classic does have a second robo. Oh, I didn't even realize he went for a double robo, double immortal. Crazy, Pappy. He's got his double robo up and running. We should soon be seeing the Observer. There it is. The Observer's on the way. Paladin's being focused down. And Dragoons, they just crumble. They just crumble here before the Mass Immortal Observer pops. And Classic should just win here. They should just win. There it is. There's detection. The best chance the Creator has is maybe to kill all the buildings, but it will take so long for that to happen. So long. The all-in moves in. Classic pushing in towards the main. It does push into the main base. Boys are being pulled. Creator getting desperate. He's desperate, Pappy. Trying to trade, trying to hold on. Alas, we did it with the Micro Hero Solid. It's on point. Preserves the Immortals. And with that, there's nothing left. There's just nothing left here. We just workers. GG gets called, and we are going all the way to the ace match. GG. GG, well played. It does feel like a build order win, essentially. A build order win here for Classic just because it went proxy robo. Bearing in mind that Creator didn't know. He didn't know that there was a proxy robo. He didn't know there was a one-way all in. He didn't scout across the map. Creator was playing blind. Very, very blind play there from Creator. He had no idea what was going on. So in the end, he was punished. In the end, it was shut down. GG. GG, well played. With that, the DT rush was a bold move, didn't quite work out here, and now we have the ace match. We're going all the way to game 5, going to be loading into Keras Passage for that final game. Let's go. Let us go. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Keras Passage, we have the Brood War Protoss player. We have the red Protoss. Representing Virtus Pro, fighting his way back and forcing the ace match, it is Classic. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the SE2 Protoss player, the blue Protoss, being forced into the ace match. Can he bring it back? It is a Creator. Here we go. Now again, we have yet to experience any kind of mid-game. It's been non-stop one base all in after one base all in after one base all in between these two players, and we expect that trend to continue coming into the ace match. But welcome to Keras Passage. Keras Passage does have a secure main. It does have a secure natural, more or less. There's no ramp coming into it. I will say this is a pretty wide entrance into the natural, especially if you can knock down those rocks. So very accessible natural base. When it comes to the third location, this is a lot more tucked away. It's right next to your natural, so the rush distance by ground between these two bases is actually quite short. So really short distance, very easy to defend. The fourth base is more exposed, or more out in the open, I should say. Oh, actually, you can take the forward fourth. Interesting. Where's the main attack path, by the way? I just realized. So the entire center of the map is fully walled off, but proxies can be quite effective here towards the center. You can knock down those towers. Oh, okay, there's a path here. There is a main path. And Classic does open up 2 gates. So 2 gate open out of Classic, 2 gate open out of Creator. Classic does veer up towards the left hand side. There's a prime location for a proxy. He's going for it. Proxy gates, 1 base all in. So Classic is embracing the all in. Creator should be doing the same, but we'll keep an eye on him. As Creator does scout behind the mineral line, confirming that a pylon is missing. Creator, he's aware that there are shenanigans, that something is amiss. There's that proxy robo. Oh, proxy, wait, what? Proxy robo here. Interesting. Are we going for a 1 base Reaver all-in? The all-in gets scouted. Yeah, the proxy is found. Stalkers are amassing. And this will take a little longer to really get underway. I'm not too convinced, but we'll see. Show us the bay. Going shuttle first. Does go for the shuttle, does invest into Dragoon range, of course. Creator, he's staying back, building up extra gateways, going for his own Twilight Council into Blink. And there's the bay. So it is going to be a Reaver drop. Okay. I mean, it does take some time for this to build up. That's my concern, is just the length of time it takes for this to get underway. To wait for the bay, to wait for the Reaver, to get into Gravitic Drive. If at all. As Creator has high ground. Yeah, he does have the high ground. Massive volleys going off. So you had so much cheese. I mean, it's a PvP, so like we don't really expect macro. But to be fair, I would say that we have not had any kind of macro play at all tonight. out of every series, it's been hyper aggressive, bunch of all-ins. That's all we've seen. Oh, that is the Scarab upgrade, not Gravitic Drive. Interesting. Meanwhile, we have the counter proxy out of Creator, so we can warp into depths across the map to deal economic damage. Classic will find the proxy. Nice scout. I can't quite recall what this upgrade is called, but we're about to find out. It's called Scarab upgrade. We'll see. So Classic moves in. Plenty of souls to defend. Blink will be a factor. Is done in 10 seconds. And if Creator can catch out that Reaver, I mean, that's going to be game. Shot goes off. Reaver is revealed. Nice spread here from Creator. He can always blink away. Speaking of, dives in. Yeah, takes down the shuttle, takes down the Reaver. And I mean, that's it. I mean, what else do we have? Yeah, Dragoons are going to be focused down, one after the other. And Classic is completely shut down. GG gets called. Creator, who will claim the series 3-2, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Creator, who will shut that down. Again, it just takes so long to get into a Reaver all-in like this. It takes so long to build up. There were plenty of Sorgs to defend. Unfortunately for Classic, he didn't know about the Twilight Council. He didn't know about the early Blink timing, but Blink was able to finish up, able to shut him down, and just overwhelm. GG. GG, well played. With that, Creator, he will claim the series, he will advance on, and we have our grand finals. It's going to be a best of 5 between Creator and ByuN. Here we go. Is going to be that best of 5. Before the finals, though, we are going to be going on a short break. And I would imagine we should be experiencing a little bit more macro here. It's been nothing but cheese, nothing but all-in so far. It's been a very fast broadcast, actually, despite the amount of matches that we have covered, despite the fact that these have been best of 5s as well. Bear that in mind. Despite that, really fast games, really fast matches. Hopefully, we can sink our teeth a little bit more into our finals here. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. For now, we're going to be going on a short break. When we come back, we'll have our next series. We'll see you soon after the break. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back to the grand finals. Let's grand finale this year of the StarCraft Evolution League number 19. This is a bi-weekly tournament every 2 weeks, every fortnight. There is an SEVO event now that the season is back on, and this is a tournament featuring a new mod, a different mod, StarCraft Evolution. This is a mod that does pit together Brood War versus SC2. Does pit them against each other in a 1v1 format, of course, and we have our two finalists. It's going to be a grand finals here between ByuN and Creator. Honestly, coming into this tournament, the two favorite players were ByuN and Classic. I was expecting ByuN versus Classic in the finals, and Classic and Creator went all the way to the ace match. Was an intense back and forth and did barely go the way of Creator 3-2. Went all the way to the ace match, did go in his favor. Could have gone either way. I mean, that's PvP, hyper aggressive, non-stop all-ins. In general, this entire broadcast, it's been pure all-ins. Like, we have not experienced a single macro game. It just hasn't happened. Like, it just hasn't, which is standard for StarCraft Evolution, to be fair. Like, cheese is a little bit more predominant in SE Evo. But I'm hoping we can calm things down and embrace some macro here in the finals, like especially with Creator and ByuN getting involved. I can see timing attacks being involved for sure, but for the most part, we're expecting some longer, later games here. Fingers crossed. As we're diving into the grand finals in that best of 5, game 1 is going to be on Sylphid. Let's go. Let us go. We are jumping into Sylphid. Into that PVT. And spawning in the top right hand corner of Sylphid, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the SC2 Protoss, the red Protoss. It is Creator. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Brood War Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Shopify. It is ByuN. Here we go. Here we go as we are diving into our best of 5 finals, and welcome to Sylphid. Sylphid is a 3-player spawn map. You can spawn in top side, right side, or left side. 3 possible spawn locations. I will say the rush distance by ground is relatively, I don't want to say short, it's middle of the road, a little bit middle of the road here. So mid-game aggression is often favored. When it comes to the third base location, it's a little bit more open, a little bit more awkward to defend. We have the linear third base, which does have another angle of attack here. In general, the choke points are quite narrow, so I would say the 3-base setup here is relatively secure. You can otherwise take the triangular third, which does have the high ground advantage as well. True. Does have the high ground. Meanwhile, CC first out of ByuN, standard opener here. We do see very often CC first on these larger maps, whether it's 3-player, whether it's 4-player. We do often see ByuN embracing the faster CC. It looks like CC first into 3x stim timing. We saw this against Middle VK, and we saw this against Def Mars as well. There's a very strong stim timing. This can kill. This can straight up kill if the Protoss is not too careful. It's going to be up to Creator to scout, to confirm the same timing that's coming his way, and to react in time and to defend. If you recall, it was Def Mars, I think it was on Vermeer, where Def Mars defended well against this build, and then he went into a 2-base all-in, and the 2-base all-in failed. where Def Mars, he made the choice to commit into an all-in instead of macroing up, where he could have just taken a third, but chose not to. As Creator, he's on the hunt, looking for ByuN. Here we go. Yes, it was a Scarab damage upgrade that was being researched by Classic at the end of that last game. Unfortunately, it didn't come into play because if you recall, the Reaver didn't actually get a shot off. The Reaver was focused down before the Scarab shot actually connected. Now the Creator is going to be zoned away. And Creator, he does at least confirm the earlier CC. He's aware of the racks, but he's not aware of what is going on in the main. Not fully aware as to the 3x build. ByuN, is he like, yo, where are you? Can you let me know? ByuN didn't scout. He doesn't know. I'll open up. Creator's laughing. Hold on, let's see. Let's whip out the Google Lens. Okay. ByuN, he was like, he got good moves. I think that's in regards to the probe surviving. So I think ByuN, he just assumed that that the probe that was scouting would be focused down, but no, Creator, he was quick to pull away. ByuN did give him credit. For those who don't know, ByuN and Creator, they're good friends. If you follow them on Instagram, they do post a lot of pictures together when they do hang out. So ByuN, Creator, alongside Maru, they're all really good friends. All the X-Prime boys, basically. All the X-Prime boys. All good friends. And ByuN and Creator, they do often go mountain climbing together. I say mountain climbing, it's ByuN, Creator, and Shin, actually, those three. In their free time. The Mountain Boys map. Yeah. So again, you can follow them on Instagram if you want to see some of their achievements. As ByuN does move out. So remember, Stim is done, or Stim is finishing up in 10 seconds. Back at home, there is going to be one battery to defend, but is it too late? It's going to be close. It's going to be close here. Stim's complete. Stalkers they engage ahead of time. There's for Stim. And does barely catch one. Up. One Stalker does go down. Nice pick up. Gets one. Yeah, catching out one Stalker, but only the one. And now ByuN has to pull away. Will he lose his medics in the process? Okay, it is going to be close. ByuN has the high ground. Creator going to be forced back. ByuN still commits in. Yeah, Sims forward does barely not get one more Stalker. Phew, pulls back to the battery. Creator holds. Creator, he is holding on. He holds, he defends. Behind this, we do have U-238 shells on the way, +1 attack. Siege mode, we're building up into bio tank. We're getting into the mid-game. Creator expands, maintains his third, and for the first time this broadcast, we have 2 base saturation and getting a third as well. I believe this is the first third base of the broadcast, unironically. First third base. Let's go, baby, let's go. We're embracing the mid game. Gibbs. We embrace the mid game. As ByuN is being cheeky, does skirt around the edge of the map. Does skirt around. Meanwhile, Temple Archives follow up here by Creator going into Storm. As the pylon is shut down. Creator looking for the army. And Creator is searching. ByuN does get away. He does have the high ground advantage as well. Catching out the Stalkers. ByuN, let's get the hell out of here. Creator gonna try to cut him off. ByuN does hide in the corner of the map. Scans, confirm Storm, and Creator, I believe, will miss the army. Oh no, he finds him. Yeah, it does find him. And here comes ByuN's main army. He just pushes. Ooh, yeah, he's pushing out on 2 bases. Behind this is no third TC. ByuN, he is quite committed. Creator, he will catch reinforcements, at least getting a tank. Not bad. Yeah, tank goes down. ByuN is pushing. He's got 2 tanks across the map. And back at home, there's Storm. Storm isn't done. Storm is not ready. There's the recall. Stalkers a recall back home. Can we get on top of the tanks? Tanks a siege. Stalkers have to respect it. They have to respect those tanks. Nice force fields. Buying some time. Yeah, buying time here. 10 more seconds until Storm is ready. 10 more seconds. Yeah, charge is done. Diving on the Marines. No, Storm is denied. No shot. That was what? 5 seconds away. Storm is denied. With Storm, we can clean this up quite easily. Oh, no. Yeah, no Storm. Tanks are pushing in. Does force out the Archon. Feedback winning wherever he can. Carry on top of the tanks. Gets one. Yeah, 1 tank goes down, but so many Stalkers fall in the process. Aye. The punish is real. Every Stalker goes down. And ByuN, has he done it? Can he break through? No energy. Yeah, no energy left. The medics are out. It's still close. ByuN did catch 14 probes. It's a lot of workers. Yeah, a lot of workers did go down. Yeah, did fall here. Nice snipe on the tank. The army is heavily overstimmed. One Archon shot. Let's go. Archon moves in. Oh my god. The Archon just deletes the Marines. The Archon is crazy. Again, the army was just so low from all the stims. We got one medic. And ByuN is still rallying, by the way. ByuN, he does not have an expansion. He's just been 2 base all in. So 2 base all in by ByuN. Now finally gets a 3rd CC. It's a very late expansion, but bearing in mind that even though ByuN was all in, even though he didn't kill Creator, he did kill 14 probes, 21 in total. A lot of workers went down. So Creator's economy isn't what it should be, and likewise, no splash damage either, as there has been no storm. Still very tense. Still very tense. As tanks are pushing forward. Can he die again? No shot. Can he die Storm? He's going for it. He goes for it again. He's gonna get it. No shot. Storm is denied. 3 seconds away. Ay, ay, ay. He just wants to Storm, Pappy. That's gonna be the death of the 3rd. 3rd base goes down, catching out the Archon as well. Creator, he just wants Storm, Pappy. He just wants any kind of splash damage. No, no. Not like this. Not like this. Yeah, stims in, baits the army within tank range. Tanks a punish. And ByuN should overwhelm. He should overwhelm from here. He now has a 3rd getting up and running. Tanks slowly pushing in. Rotating over towards the now new 3rd. Trying to wedge himself in between the bases. Tanks, I believe, they're within range of the pylon. Not the battery. Zealots are coming from behind. Plenty of Marines, though. Tanks are exposed. Getting 1, 2, up to 3 tanks. But Marines, they stim in. Yeah, they stim in, they overwhelm. GG gets called. ByuN overwhelms, and ByuN takes game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. Just such an unfortunate timing there for Creator. He was seconds away from finishing Storm. It was, again, like 4 seconds away, and it was barely denied. That made for a very shaky defense. That's why Creator had to pull the boys. He lost 14 probes in the initial defense, and then the second wave came in and denied Storm once again. 3 seconds away from finishing, Pappy. 3 seconds away, denied for a second time. Without Storm, there was no defense. There was no defense. We needed some kind of splash damage, whether it was Storm, whether it was Colossus. We needed something. And with that, ByuN overwhelms. GG. GG, well played. ByuN takes game number 1, takes a lead in the series, and we'll see if he can extend that lead as we are loading to game 2, loading into Ruby Rock. Let's go. Let us go. And again, Creator, he was so close to defending. He just needed a couple of seconds. A couple of seconds. That's all he needed. And here we go, spawning in the top left-hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the StarCraft 2 Protoss player, the red Protoss. Down in the series, we'll see if he can bounce back. It is a Creator. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Terran player. We have the Broodor Terran representing Shopify. It is ByuN. Let's go. Let us go. Do we go CC first again? As Creator moves out for the proxy. Okay, does hide his probe here at the 3rd location, throws down the pylon. ByuN, he has been known to skip his SCV scouts. Will he skip the SCV scout here on Ruby Rock? Remember, the rush distance background is shorter. This map does favor aggression. How greedy is ByuN going to be, as he once again is going CC first? Yeah, 2 games in a row, CC first. And if he does not SCV scout, I mean, he's going to see nothing coming his way. Oh boy. This is a really good adaptation here from Creator, punching ByuN's tendencies, as ByuN, he has been known to cut corners, skip scouting, and be greedy. Let's go. Creator does confirm the faster CC will delay, will attempt to delay, forcing down another worker. is going to be CC first into the 3x follow-up, same build as last game. But my concern here is just a lack of scouting from ByuN. No worker across the map. ByuN sees nothing. Sees nothing. Zealots are amassing, a Cybercore is on the way to reinforce with Stalkers. And we'll see if Creator can keep their production. Remember, because it will CC first, this command center will finish, but it's not about the CC, it's about the main. This bunker should be denied. Bunker is cancelled. Zealots move in. We have one Marine to defend. Backup bunkers on the way. And once again, should be denied. Oh, Zealot gets surrounded. Yeah, nice surround. Marine does get away. Marine gets away. There's a cancellation on that second bunker. More Zealots are going to be waddling in, but so far he's in defense here from ByuN. But he needs that bunker desperately. And both Zealots move in. One gets around it. Oh, not quite. Does slip away. Stalker production has begun. He needs that Stalker. And there are 2 Marines. Yeah, there's 2 Marines here. ByuN, he takes over the ramp. Punishes the Stalker. The bunker will finish, and ByuN is holding. Yeah, ByuN, he is holding. If he failed to finish the bunker, different story, but the bunker does complete. And Creator forced to expand. Is forced to expand. Was this worth of a Creator? I mean, ByuN, he has the CC. It finished. He can make 2 workers at a time. He's going to be at least delayed. He's going to be stuck on a 1 base economy. At least there is that. So on a 1 base economy. But that stim timing is still going to hit like a truck. It's still going to be a very strong stim timing. And we'll see if Creator can survive it. And we shall see. ByuN is looking to re-expand. Twilight Council is on the way for Blink. A scan does confirm that Blink is on the way. Does confirm that there's no like Robo, there's no War Prism follow-up. There's no backstab potential. And here comes ByuN. So by losing 2 Marines. Oh, nice control by Creator. Very delicate micro, takes down and punches 4 Marines, and the CC is denied. Yeah, ByuN trying to break out pre-stim does not work out well. Doesn't work out well here. Getting another Marine. That's what, 5, 6 Marine kills. This does slow ByuN down. And ByuN finally breaks out. Breaks out back at home. There's going to be 1 battery on the low ground, building up more Stalkers. Blink is halfway done. Scan reveals the Robo, reveals the defensive setup, and the game will continue. Now, last game, ByuN turned this into a 2-base all-in. That was on Silphid, if you recall. We'll see if ByuN commits again, or if we expand. ByuN getting a second factory. That is not normal. Okay. Or at least we didn't see that last game. We didn't see that last game. So fast second factory. Getting into U2-3HLs. With this we can mass up more tanks. Can build up a higher tank count. So do we have any Zergs in the brackets? They have been eliminated. This is the finals. This is the finals, but 3 points. 3-point made it to the quarterfinals. Where he went down to Def Mars. So we had a Zerg in the quarterfinals. But this is the grand finals. Here's the finals. As Creator's out of position. Yeah, Creator's out of position. D-powers the Robo. Going straight for the mineral line. And ByuN, he will trade well here. He will trade well. He will get the mineral line. That's going to be 7, 8, 9, 10 probes falling. Yeah, assuming we focus fire. Never mind. Getting it to 8. Yeah, 8 probe kills. The army's going to be cleaned up. This could have been critical damage. Still not a bad trade here for ByuN. As ByuN picks off 8 probes and 5 stalkers. Back at home is building up his tank count, going into spider mines as well, actually. Huh. And I don't, wait, what? He can't, okay. He's going into mech. He's going for a mech transition. After a 3-racks opener. This is a bold move. Okay. But he's building up into spider mines, ion thrusters into mass vulture. I feel like this is a bit of a messy transition here. As ByuN is slowing things down. He's slowing the game down. His plan is to turtle up, getting even more factories. Getting up to 5 factories. As a result, ByuN, he will relinquish map control. Like, because this switch is so awkward and so unnatural, it means the creator has so much freedom. He has so much freedom to just probe and to tech up. Checking the observer did not see the factories. Okay. Didn't see the factories. Overlords are moving out. Got an overlord to cover the main, to cover the natural. Fanning out the overlords. And creators massing up Colossus. Colossus that'd be ideal against Bio Tank, but it isn't Bio Tank coming his way. It's mech. So the Colossus there less than ideal. Would you want a more gateway heavy and immortal heavy composition instead? As we did see Classic dominates ByuN's mech last night in the best of 9. As ByuN does pull away. ByuN pulls away. To have our Temple Archives working towards eventually Archons and Storm. The hallucination, I believe, yep, that's confirmed. Now he knows, now he sees the mech. Okay, he's now aware of the mech coming his way. ByuN is meching it up, man. Building up a siege line, building up his minefield as well. Scans for the 4th base. Vultures can start to be active. He's got his upgrades. But Creator is defending. He's likewise also turtling up back at home. Now again, the path across the map is very direct here on Ruby Rocks, so ByuN can move out with a pretty terrifying composition, terrifying army. And it'll take long at all to get across the map, but we'll see how our players build up. I'm still not convinced in regards to Creator's composition. I would not be opposed to like a second Robo and double Immortal production, or even Charge. Charge isn't even researched. Hasn't even begun. That might be a mistake considering how many Zealots we have. So Creator, he may have forgotten Charge. In fact, I think he has forgotten Charge at this point. As in, this is not intentional. So we have a couple of Goliaths being sprinkled in for ByuN. Again, ByuN has to make sure he gets eyes on any kind of Skytroll transition. Just to make sure he sees. Sets up his minefields. There we go. Charge now has begun. 10 minute, sorry, almost 11-minute charge. Let's go. But we have a very passive mid game here. Very, very passive. Both players are building up. I don't really see Creator breaking this position. Ideally, I want to say that Creator wants to wait for ByuN to move out into the open. As Vultures, ooh, they do get punished. Science vessels on the way. Bearing in mind, science vessels do have EMPs available to them. So they can EMP the army. ByuN is almost max. He's pushing, setting up a tar line in the center. Tanks are sieged. Nice tank shots, catching an Archon. Archon goes down. ByuN, he's almost within range of the bases. He's almost there. Celeron is attempted. Mech Army's pushing in. Creator, he attempts to surround. It's a little bit lopsided, but does come in from behind. Yeah, comes in for the surround, tries to get on top of the army. Tanks, they just completely bully the army though. No! Warbit is denied, and ByuN, he should take this. He should take this. Massive tank shots going off. Punishing the Colossus, the Gateway army as well. And with that, ByuN has done it. Again, critical mass attack. GG gets called, and ByuN, he'll take a 2-0 lead in the series. GG. Whew, GG, well played. Again, a very messy surround there from a creator, moving in a little bit too soon with the top side. The back line was a little bit too delayed. The rotation was really delayed as well. Just very, very mistimed engage there from creator. But on top of that, he was also lacking the army as well. Like, again, the Colossus weren't really adding much to the fight. Very low immortal count, not many zealots either. Like a very awkward composition. It just took, I want to say, a little bit too long for a creator to recognize that it was mech of all things, and it wasn't quite ready for the mech army to move out in the way that it did. GG. GG, well played. With that, ByuN, he does extend his lead even further. He is 1 game away from claiming the series. Uno más, papi, uno más. Let's go. As we are loading into Vermeer for that 3rd game, potentially final game. Potentially. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Vermeer, we do have the Brood War Terran player. We have the Teal Terran representing Shopify, leading the series 2-0. It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the purple Protoss player. We have the SE2 Protoss. It is a creator. Here we go, and welcome one and all to Vermeer, as ByuN is moving out with 1, with 2, with 3 SCVs, going for the proxy in the center of the map. Welcome to Vermeer. Vermeer is a 4-player spawn map. Looking at the vision here, ByuN knows that creator is either top right or bottom right. He knows that he's of one or two locations, and he gambas with the proxy. So ranks are being thrown down, going for the Marine Rush, and creator. Is he going Nexus first? He is. Yeah, Nexus first out of creator. Oh boy. Late Gateway, and does he probe scout? That's the better question. Does he scout across the map? Does he pull a ByuN? Ay. As that is Nexus first into Gateway. Currently creator is unaware. And the Marines are coming. They're amassing. Marines are amassing. We can set up bunkers as well. SCV moves in. ByuN, he will confirm the Nexus first. And he can start his bunker.
You want a piece of me, boy?
Alright, pulls back. Holds on to the SCV. I wouldn't even be opposed to getting a bunker up and running in between the bases, to be honest. But here we go. Bearing in mind this is an all-in, we don't really want to waste our time too much at the natural. It's all about the main. There we go, bunker at the natural. The boys are being pulled. Yeah, the boys are being pulled. The SCVs are revealed. Oh, and the Marines taking all their own. They shut down the first probe. Yeah, probes are taking a lot of hits. Bunker's almost complete. And, I mean, this is all the creator has. Yeah, it's all that he has. He tries to go for the surround. And it's gonna lose too much. Yeah, every probe is falling, and the series might just end here and now. It's every probe will fall. Cleans up 11 probes. There's 1 zealot. The bunker did finish. Can he get to it? I mean, now we have to commit, and the Zelda's kited, GG gets called, and ByuN will claim the series 3-0, becoming the StarCraft Evolution League at number 19 champion. GG. GG, well played, congratulations. ByuN, he will claim the series. Unfortunate that creator, he was unaware of what was going on, no probe scout, he was playing blind. It was no probe scout, but it was also Nexus first, right? So greediest build you can go for from the side of Protoss. He was caught with his pants down. Unfortunately, he pulled the boys, and because of the initial proxy 3 ranks, there were plenty of Marines to punish the boys being pulled. You see a very similar situation here in TVZ as well, and with that, a creator, he is shut down, unable to defend out of the finals. GG. GG, well played. Are people cheesing every game because they don't really know how the matchups work? If anything, this shows that they do know how the matchups work. It's very common on Vermeer to go for these greedier builds and to go Nexus first or to go CC first. We saw that out of ByuN, we saw that out of Creator. So you can try to punish that by kind of hoping and assuming that they are going to be going for a greedier build because it is a 4-player small map. On top of that, remember, we did see some macro this series. Game 1 and Game 2. Game 1 and Game 2, we did see some longer games. To be fair, ByuN did 2-base all in Game 1. That is true. That's why he was so aggressive and so assertive. But in game number 1, I meant to say, in game 1 on Sylphid, we saw ByuN go for a 2-base all-in. In game number 2, we saw instead Creator go for the initial cheese, and we ended up in a longer macro game with ByuN snowballing out of control with a maxed out mech army. So we got to see some more mid to late game, thankfully, in the finals. But throughout the course of the quarterfinals and semis, pure cheese, pure aggression, which is a little bit unfortunate. It is a little bit partially because the competitive scene, because there are less games going on, because there's no active ladder at the moment, proxies and cheese can be more effective just because you have less experience. That is true. It is always easier to be the aggressor than it is to be the defender. That is a factor, I would imagine. I'm sure that is a factor. But I will say that if you wanted to sink your teeth into a longer series, I mean, last night we were live with a best of 9 between ByuN and Classic, right? ByuN and Classic, and we did see a little more mid to late game between the two of them. We saw less cheese, if you will. Less cheese, less all-ins. But GG. GG, well played. Did ByuN just win by build order? Yes, essentially. Like, I say that, like, build order, but also, like, no probe scout either, so, like, But yeah, rough setup there. Rough setup there for Creator. GG, well played with that. Congratulations to ByuN. Will claim the series and will be our champion this week. Congratulations. I say this week, bearing in mind that we're a little bit behind when it comes to SC Evo coverage, but we should be catching up soon. Like, we should be able to catch up with SC Evo number 20 and number 21 as well. Catching up. When it comes to the rest of our schedule, bam, you can check us out here over on our calendar. We just wrapped up with our Tuesday morning broadcast of StarCraft Evolution. As you can see, we have a really busy week of StarCraft here. We have Tuna Cup this evening. We have a Pegasus Cup on Wednesday and Thursday. We have Kung Fu Cup on Wednesday and Saturday. We have the Pondcast on Thursday. We have RSL on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 3 days of RSL back to back to back to back. And we have the OC Rising Star on Friday morning. So plenty of content, plenty of StarCraft throughout the course of the week. Plenty of content, two casts a day, almost every single day here. Plenty of content, plenty of StarCraft. Next week we should be returning with some more StarCraft Evolution, if that is what you're more looking for, I should say. More SC Evo next week. But otherwise, GG. Otherwise, GG, well played. With that, we're going to be wrapping up here. Again, we should be back in around 6 hours. Yeah, in around 6 hours time, we should be returning, sorry, 7 hours time, we should be returning with the Sparkling Tuna Cup. That's our weekly open tournament of StarCraft 2. In StarCraft 2 Weekly Open Cup, usually we have Tuna Cups on Sundays, but because of RSL, we have been rescheduling. We've been moving our weeklies to Tuesdays just to make sure we don't clash with RSL, just so we can accommodate. Technically, we could still have Tuna Cup on Sunday, but we'll play it safe. We'll play it safe. Move it to Tuesday. But otherwise, GG. Otherwise, GG, well played. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Again, a bit of a shorter broadcast today. Really fast games, really fast matches, but we got to sink our teeth a little bit more in the grand finals, thankfully. And we'll be experiencing some more StarCraft Evolution next week with SC Evo number 20. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys later on tonight or tomorrow for Biggest Cup. See you tonight or tomorrow. Thanks for watching. I'm starving. I'm gonna go get some breakfast. It's almost 2 p.m. here. Almost 2 p.m. I'm gonna go get some breakfast. I'm gonna go get some rest for later tonight. Until then, ciao, papi, ciao. Hasta luego. Hasta luego.